And peace to the gods. Salaam
Peace, great
alaikum.
God.
Peace to the gods. What's going on, lords? How's the gods doing? How's everybody? You know,
In the lab. In the lab.
yeah, we got
Cracking Adams.
Cracking Adams, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, how the old folks used to say it,
Mm.
putting straps from behind. But yeah, guys, yeah, we got a bill, man. You know what I'm saying? Just checking out some of the videos on YouTube, and we was we came up, one of the guards came across a video, and he was just showing me that now brothers are saying in the M.G.C circles that the father is the successor of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. you know of course, this is from a video that was on YouTube. The brother Darkim's channel that I seen, and we was discussing it back and forth in the comment section. And it's like, once again, brothers say stuff, but there's never nothing to really back that up. Because I asked them, how could you back up such claims that he's the successor? And I didn't really get anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, we got to talk about this. This is like a multiple layer, type conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things to pull back on this one. So what I mean, I'm gonna say peace to the gods. Let y'all, what I mean, tell me your thoughts on that. Do y'all think Father Allah the Father, Brother Clarence 13 next, do you think he is the successor to
Now
the Honorable
cipher.
Elijah Muhammad? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Now cipher. Now cipher.
Emphatically now cipher, or just now cipher?
I'm gonna be easy and just say now cipher.
Go ahead, God.
And my reasoning is this: proof is the truth, and the truth is the proof, and can be shown and proven at any time, no time limit. And even though he did a good work, he doesn't live up to that belief that he was or is the successor. No different than Royal Solomon, Silas, Minister John. All of them thought they were the successor, including Wharf Dean. But we see who Allah has his hands on, who the messenger has his hands on.
Indeed, God. Indeed. Anybody you want to add on? Anybody?
Add
Anybody
on
else want
that.
to add on?
I was gonna say the God Darkim, he was excited too. That was his first time seeing that interview. But that's like a staple interview in the nation. Like, probably most believers come in, saw that video. I think Minister Jabril Muhammad set that up with Buzz Anderson. He was the one that encouraged the messenger, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, take that interview in the 60s, the mid 60s, I believe. So I used to have that joint on VCR tape, as a matter of fact. That's how far back.
Me too.
On VHS somewhere in storage, But yeah, we know about that video for a long time, in that specific part too. He talked about, the third was left for some other fella. You know what I mean? So what's you wanna mute that mic, God? It's like a noise.
I
I hear you too.
don't hear no more.
Okay. Yes, sir. So yeah, Buzz Anderson came to the home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and interviewed him, and the messenger said that Master Fard Muhammad lined him up with about 2/3 of the Quran to study, and he said a third he left for another fella, and he said, you know, we're not gonna worry about it because it don't happen in our time, so let the other fella worry about it. You know, I guess the third of the Quran that pertained to his legacy or his labor. So how I signs that up is definitely that it's talking about the minister because it said it's in some other fella's time. So the context is like they won't be present. You know what I mean? They won't be present amongst us. So he like let the other fella worry about them. So in my mind, you know, it couldn't have been the father because the father, you know, transitioned and was murdered, you know, before the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad left the scene. You know, the messenger was still here, you know, up until 74, and the father was killed in 1969, I believe June 1969. So it couldn't have referred to him just based off that alone, but it definitely fit the minister because the minister rebuilt the nation in 77. So Master Farad nor the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was on the scene. So, you know, and just him making world history and everything that he did, you know, he's more fit, you know, like Seven True said, than any of the others, you know, including Supreme Minister John Muhammad and everything. Like, so that's how I signs that up. You know what I mean? But I was excited to see Darkim excited, you know. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean about that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we actually we shared a God too, you know what I mean, in terms of a link between us. You know what I mean? He probably don't know me, but one of the guys, he returned to the essence, Supreme Divine. He used to tell me about Darkim and stuff. Was he used to go to the school a lot, and he would sit in some of Darkim classes that he hold at the school. So I knew the guy for a long time, actually, just by word of mouth, but I never met the guy in person, but always hear good things about Darkim because he been around for a long time teaching at the school. Like he been around and he steadfast. So he been a soldier for a lot for that group. You know what I mean? But I was excited that was his first time getting to see it. And you know, he signs it up how he signs it up. You know what I mean? I would have liked to hear how he signs it up that way. But you know what I mean? This how we signs it up basically in terms of who that fella is. Cause the messenger, he never gave a name. He just said the other fella, you know, but I want to say this too, just because I think it's pertinent. You know what I mean? It's relevant to the things that I want to share tonight as well. Like, for one thing, you see, what's the word I'm looking for? A pattern. You see a pattern throughout the history. You know what I mean? You know, I'm just starting from Master Farad, but really, in truth, it's a pattern throughout, you know, the 25,000 year cycle, you know, at least this last 6,000 years of history. Like, what I mean to say is that the names of people have been like protected. You know what I mean? You notice that like in Bible and Quran, it'll tell you like the duty or like task a person to perform, but not necessarily a name. And that's like for protection. You know what I mean? It's like for protection because we are human beings. You know what I mean? Human being could be harmed, you know what I mean, jailed or killed. So a lot of times the identity is hidden. You know, we see that pattern like when Master Muhammad came, he hid who he was. You know, all of us didn't know who he was. Same thing with the messenger. Like the people that was in the temple with him, they ain't know he was the messenger of Allah. They just figured he was a a regular believer like them. You know what I mean? That was the secret between him and Farrar. Like he was making his messenger, you know what I mean, as as the temple was going on and stuff behind the scenes. But that wasn't made born. That knowledge wasn't made born until Masfar Muhammad left the scene. And then the messenger would begin to say who Farrar was and who he is. So the same thing when he said that, that was 64, 65, that Buzz Anderson interview. So he didn't want to reveal, obviously he didn't want to reveal the other brother by name. You see what I'm saying? For protection, because he said the nation was honeycombed with stool pigeons and hypocrites and agents. You know what I mean? So it's like to protect. So he just said the other fellow, but when we look at the history, like, you know what I mean? I'd be interested to hear who else it could be in terms of, whether it's the God circle, whether it's Solid circle, or, or or Minister John Muhammad, the Supreme Minister. Like, who else could it be besides the minister? That's how I science it up.
And then
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say real quick too. Oh, peace to God, Marco Ja. Peace,
Peace,
peace.
God.
Oh, I think your I don't know if
DC.
your mic. Oh, okay. Yeah. Your mic was on mute.
I
Yeah.
mean, I got some background music. I don't know if y'all hear it, but
Okay.
No, not
I
really.
was gonna mute myself, and then I'm gonna unmute myself when I talk. So
Okay.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Yeah, we were just talking about real quick, just the father being the successor to the honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is what the NGE teaching. That like he came and he was the successor to the messenger, and we were just just going around hearing the gods bill or get they see on that. I was gonna say real quick though before you go, uh, to like what Brother Jahad was saying with me, yeah, I definitely see that as, like his ministers, you know what I'm saying? And I think with me, I probably wouldn't definitely Minister Farrakhan. I mean, if you're looking at in terms of magnitude and what he's done to, you know what I'm saying, push forward the movement. But the way my enlightener gave it to me, and this is when I transitioned to Nation of Islam and became, a righteous Muslim, of course, Muslim God or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was like, Master Fard Muhammad is the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the wisdom. All of the messengers, ministers who he raised in the wilderness of North America is the understanding. So any minister that, Minister Farrakhan put out there, whether it was Minister Farrakhan, whether it was, Minister John Muhammad, Minister Abdul Akbar Muhammad, Minister, whoever, there's some very, very astute ministers. Some follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, and some don't. I still even listen to the ones who don't adhere to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because sometimes they have good information,
Yeah.
especially when they're coming from like the MIMPs and the what I'm saying, books and stuff that they
Yeah.
have, very good stuff in there. And I know one thing about those brothers, even though again they may not adhere or follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, like there's a lot of jewels and nuggets in their teachings
Yeah.
or in their writings for the simple fact that they don't allow nothing to interfere with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. If the messenger said it, boom, they got it, you know what I'm saying, word for word. So that's one thing I've always, respected about, those brothers that from other camps. But that was just the way that I was always, taught from my enlightener, that the Honorable Master Fard Muhammad is the supreme knowledge, the messenger is the supreme wisdom, and all of his ministers in the wilderness of North America is our understanding
can,
for us
can,
to study.
can I say something, brother Fahiym?
Yes, sir.
Um, I would just want to say, in this the elephant in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and you say on this topic, and that's what some of the brothers had told me in the Muhammad Mos 34, that you speak on a lot of topics, that a lot of people don't speak on, and I want to tell you, brother Fahiym, that
Oh, you said
your
about me,
message.
or you said me? They said I speak on, or you said in general?
Yeah, the brother is in the Muhammad Mosque 34 in Durham, North Carolina. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know how I don't know how far you think your reach is, but the gods they know about you. Cause I was
okay.
following you when you was a little channel and your channel has grown, but I mean, I would just say to not talk too long. I just feel
Mm,
like with the NGE, their teaching has deviated. Um, when I go to I never been taught by the NGE. I go straight to the mosque because I need that discipline but they just like when they just say stuff to me that I just can't relate to, like, oh, um you still pray, or oh, I'm a god and I can do what I want to do. Islam means to submit to the supreme being God. But it's like in the NGE, they're thinking that they're the supreme being. It's like, yeah, you're God, but you're not the supreme. You are the supreme being. You're a product of the supreme being, but you're not above the supreme being. And the 10%ers, the cultists, believe in the same thing we believe in because they know the truth. But once you deviate and once you getting into, hey, I don't need to worship God no more. I don't need to pray no more. I don't need to submit to a higher supreme being, or I don't have to submit to a man that instills that God nature. Once you just get into that, oh, I'm God, it once you live that out, you're not going by the lessons of what Master Far Muhammad has teach. The message in NGE has deviated, and I'm not gonna say I don't have no respect for that organization, but I don't listen to them. I don't feel like there's a need for it. It's deviated. Um, but like as a Muslim, or you what you would say as a Muslim God, you have to submit to something. And these brothers get on the camera, talk about, hey, I don't gotta pray and I don't have to follow no man. I'm God. I could slap a bitch and sell crack and preach that. It's like you can't do that. But it's elementary to me.
mm.
It's elementary. It's not. I've been studying for the past, well, damn, like 8 years now. So this is elementary to me. This is like a conversation that's for the babies. It's not for us, but it's for the babies. And I said all that to say.
Yeah, I feel you, dog. I feel you. I was gonna ask you. You said you've been studying about 7, 8 years. By 8 years you've been
8 years
studying.
now, yeah.
Let me ask you, when you first looked at the Supreme Wisdom Package or the 120 lessons, did you think or did you see in there that, you was just God and you didn't see yourself as a Muslim at all? Or before you start watching my channel, of course. I'm just saying before you start watching my channel, your own thinking, did you ever, see that as separate in those
No, I
lessons?
didn't. Elijah Muhammad quoted that every everybody is a Muslim, and he said even God is a Muslim. I mean, I throw that quote, and I'm paraphrasing his quote, but he said even God is a Muslim, and we're all anybody that's righteous and submits to God is a Muslim. Like the sun is a Muslim, the stars are a Muslim. It's not just people. like you just gotta really know what a Muslim is, and you know, it's basic, it's elementary to me, but but the NGE, they, I feel like the message has deviated, and I see a lot of brothers go against Farrakhan and Elijah, or I see some brothers they just go with Elijah, but Louis Farrakhan said that him and Elijah are one, and you can't knock down the modern day. I call him the modern day Jesus Christ. Everybody loves Louis Farrakhan, but I call him the modern day Jesus Christ, and you just can't. To me, like say you a true God, true 5%er, and denounce Farrakhan, and as much as I love Malcolm, Elijah tested Malcolm. He tested Lewis, Mr. Farrakhan. Mr. Farrakhan passed the test. Malcolm maybe failed it, but came back to conclusion that he was wrong for what he was doing. But this is like, man, you can't how you gonna denounce the author and then go on with what you're on? But that's what's been going on since the beginning of time. Just like how people have been saying that Christians, but something before Christianity was there. You know, it's more history about people believing in multiple gods, but it is history of people believing in one God. And that's what my Yusuf Ali translation taught me, is Islam has always been on this earth. It might have came in different forms and different names, but Islam has always came um, on was always on this earth. It just came in different forms and different names.
Right, right.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I really gotta say, brother
Yeah.
Fahiym. I don't got too much. Like but
Yeah.
it's just for the baby gods. This is
Right,
the
right,
term that
right.
you say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't, it's, a lot of people think it'd be like disrespect, but we try to be, adults, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we try to hear people's perspective, you I learn from everybody. You know what I'm saying? I learn from even the ignorant, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? There's things that I look and I learn, you know what I'm saying, from them, and like Brother Jihad said just a few minutes ago, you know, I could commend Darkim, you know what I'm saying? And I made like a little joke, you know what I
I'm a
mean?
Darkim, I love Christ.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm subscribed
Allah's
to him, but
Christ.
I never watched his videos.
Yeah, but I mean the thing with him is, and I give him credit. I commend him for one thing that, and I was making a joke, on his thing. I think I left a comment. I was like, "Yo, you keep playing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's videos or whatever. Yo, the Iblis gods they're gonna rise up against you. They're gonna be like, yo, you need to stop playing that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, why you playing it? Because he didn't play just a clip of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He played like a whole, you know what I'm saying, interview damn near from the Buzz Anderson or whatever back then. And, it's like, I know maybe he don't know it, but when people sit down and listen to the messenger, he may not be a person who could speak English very well, or on a high level, or people may think that. But one thing about that man, and what makes him so much more powerful to us as 5%ers, or to anybody who studied his lessons, is that once you read those lessons, and now you're seeing the man sit there talk about the lessons and be asked questions about those lessons. See, we've never got this from the father,
Can I
where
say
he
one
was.
thing,
Yes,
brother
sir.
Fahiym?
Yes, sir.
I'll say maybe one thing about the mess, like one thing, because I got my 120. And that's one thing I always want to ask brothers that's older than me. Is something in the lessons where it's talking about you cut three white men's head off, and that's something. I mean, I don't know. You know,
Okay,
that's
I'm not.
something.
Pardon self. Before you go further, there's no lesson that says cutting off the white man's head. Nowhere. Okay,
In the 120, it doesn't say that, brother.
and nowhere in the lessons does it say cutting the white man's head
Are you
off.
sure?
Okay,
Are you sure?
I'm 1,000% sure it has no words that say cutting the white man's head off. Okay, no
You said you
sir.
bring like three heads to a white. I'm
Four, actually,
paraphrasing
it's
wrong,
four. Right, four devil heads.
but
But that's
Master
a
Father Muhammad got in trouble because somebody took it literal and they ran him
right,
out of Detroit. You
right,
know,
indeed, right. That's where in lies the problem. Yes, we know that the skunk of the planet Earth and the white man has shown himself to absolutely be the devil. But when you're speaking on that particular degree, it goes much deeper than the physical white man is the devil. So that's a whole build
right?
on that. But I want to, now that I could be heard, I wanted to go in because someone mentioned the word history, and I wanted to see why that would be said that of the Father. Again, he did a good work, but look at what we're actually dealing with. Adam was told to dress the garden, till the ground, and he was given a gift in the black woman, the second creation or second self of Allah himself. He was given that. And he was given an instruction of what he could do and what he shouldn't do. Now, whether Eve was there to hear that directly from his mouth or she was told that by Adam, she knew. And the devil knew. Satan knew. And he was able to get into her ear, switching and changing up a little bit. Let's come further. Yakub was in the holy city. Islam was the law of the day, the law of the land, the way of life. He found a way to teach it to gain benefit and to show others how to gain benefit. So there was a twist to how he taught it. And that twist became a problem. And he was told, you could build your man, but you can't build him here. So let's go a little further. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad showed forth and proved that he was taught by God. Whether Clarence 13X had an issue with Malcolm or however it went. But if you come up a little further, it seems those that were, under the tutelage or teachings or come under that, they got an issue with Master Father Muhammad. They also got an issue with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So you want to rule out where all of this comes from. You want to rule out the supreme being who is still the supreme being in this day and time. You want to rule out his
The
messenger.
Father Muhammad.
And now you want to say that everything of credit should go to this man that broke restrictive law by taking the lessons out of the temple. So, in essence, I don't care what Master Father Muhammad said. I don't care what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. I'm going to do what I want to do. That level of spirit is teaching in the way of Yaqub. That level is a level of teaching supplanting
Mm.
supplanting the truth as Satan did in the garden. So now when you hear things like I'm God, I do what I want to do, where would they get that spirit? When I'm God and I don't need no discipline, where would they get that spirit? Allah, God, there is no unrighteousness in him, all wise, right, and exact. So if he submits, he's not submitting to himself, he's submitting to the essence of himself, which is right and exact righteousness. And as they said many times by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Father Muhammad, he came by himself, and his own righteousness upheld him, sustained him. Because with man with that much power coming to the people that he came to, man, he could have left here with gagrillions of dollars.
Hmm.
He could have robbed the whole United States with that much power. But his own righteousness upheld him. So he, in essence, he didn't submit to a higher this or another man, nothing that he submitted to his own righteousness that was within him, his very nature. And see, when you start to make words like righteous, nasty, poison in your mouth, when you start to make the word Muslim poison in your mouth, when you start to make the phrase that the woman is the second self of Allah, it becomes poison in your mouth. And you start to spit out that poison day in, day out, year in, year out. Then you are not propagating the actual teachings. You are doing the supplanting of the devil. They call themselves peacemakers, yet they know not that they are the actual peace breakers. They say, we're for this and we're for this, not knowing that they are all the time against it. So when they come out and spit those things, they're making their mouth say what they wanted to say, but their actions speak way louder.
Mm.
How did the devil, or why did they burn the devil from the roots of civilization? Because he started causing trouble. Us doing our job and teaching the teachings right and exact, and you got somebody that's coming up against you with this, that, this belief, this phrase, this word, that, you're causing trouble amongst the who? Amongst the righteous. And you're causing them to fight and kill one another. Yo, Fahiym, I'm telling you, my man, you need to come to the parliament next year when we have it up there in the Brooklyn Park. I'm telling you, guys, bring your ass, because we gonna see about you. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
You God, I'm God, and we supposed to be righteous, and you threatening and doing that. What? Who's causing trouble? Who's causing fighting? Who has raised pistols and came to places and or hunted folks down and all this and stuff? And while I'm on that thought process, can anyone answer this? Did the Father advocate universal beatdowns because you messed up on your lessons? Where did that culture creep up into our way of life?
The Bronx.
Because I'd like to really know how many people did the Father beat down because, because the universal beatdown, what are we doing? So I just wanted to, as the brother was speaking, those things came to my head. Yeah, you say you study your 120, But there seems to be a twist. There seems to be an angle. And if there's only the 85 and the 10 and the 5%, well, if the 5% are all wise and know who the true and living God is and teach who the true and living God is, then what is the 10% doing? And could you possibly be manifesting that and not know it? And
Yeah.
what does the 85 represent? Could you possibly be dumb, deaf, and blind, even though you say, and I could, like the guy said, I could smack a bitch, I could push my pregnant wisdom down the stairs, and who could check me? Because I don't submit to nobody. So you don't even submit to the actual essence of yourself, which is righteousness. That's why you could sell drugs to your people. That's why you could shoot somebody who say they hate a black man. That's why you could hold your woman down like the Taliban and she shouldn't get no education. That's why she shouldn't study 120. That's why she gets held back. That's why can't nobody tell you anything about discipline, because I'm Yaku, I'm Satan, and who could tell me I'm better than he? You made me a fire while you made him a. Wait a minute, am I actually sounding like somebody that we get to listen to and they don't know it every day? Wow. Let the guy dip back off into the darkness and let somebody else have a mic.
You just described the Iblis gods.
Mm,
But that was the point I
mm.
was making, earlier, real quick. I was just saying, I was telling the brother, you got Elijah up there, and people are going to look at Elijah and people are going to be mesmerized at what the message is saying, especially if you studied his 120 lessons before. You're going to be mesmerized and glued to what the message is saying. Whether he's talking big words, he's talking baby words, whatever he's talking, the high science is going to have you glued to the TV. And the thing about it is the reason why they get the name Iblis is because they know that. They know that. They know. See, the thing is, Satan knows what attracts you. So he knows what to keep you away from. See, if I'm just an ignorant nigga, right? And I'm trying to get knowledge, you know what I'm saying? But I may be a little argumentative and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I really want to know. I really want to learn. I really want to hear your perspective. I really want to find out why y'all Muslim brothers, why y'all teach what y'all teach, why y'all dudes follow Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan, why y'all say what y'all say, why y'all, I really want to know. I'm trying to learn. But you got those who they know why. So their job is to thwart any type of contact that you would have with sitting there fixated on listening to what that man is saying, whether it be Minister Farrakhan or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I've heard people say, yeah, Farrakhan, he was 10%er, yeah, he was this and this and that. And then when they sat there and watched the man in a couple of lectures, they didn't say that no more. I was tripping the other day. I was at my baby mom's, my daughter's mother's house, and her mom's was there. And I remember, back when I first started talking to her, she was like 20 years old. I was like 24, she was 20. You know what I mean? And but I'm kind of like a newborn still, getting knowledge still, you know what I'm saying? And I'm making my transition from M.G.C into Nation of Islam. So I used to be watching a lot of Minister Farrakhan lectures and stuff like that. And I remember one day I came over there and her mom's, like, well, no, me and her was in there, and I had a VCR tape. There's a VCR joint, and her mother walked in, and she was like, "What is he in there watching?" And she was like, "Oh, he just got a video on, Minister Farrakhan, whatever." She was like, "Tell him take it off. Don't watch that, and he can't watch that in here." Because they're like staunch Christians. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny. I was joking with her moms just the other day because she was like, yeah, that Farrakhan, I like that man. I like that man. And I'm sitting there like, and I was like, Mom, because I call her Mom too, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Mom, I remember back in the days, you know what I'm saying? You used to, shun that man. And then no, he's saying some good stuff. He's saying some, so Allah says in the Quran, only those who listen accept. You know what I mean? you could hear something, but you're not listening. You know what I mean? We already know there's a difference between hearing and listening. So when people actually sit down and listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when they listen to the minister, or any of the ministers for that matter, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad raised up in the wilderness of North America, the evilest gods, they know when people see that, they're going to be attracted to that. So that's why I was joking with Darkim. It was just a joke, but at the end of the day, I'm dead ass though. Like, yo, you might want to take that down because you're gonna fall into problems with the rest of the evilest gods up there at the school. They're gonna be like, yo, take that Elijah, but you playing Elijah a little too much. Hold on, man. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? You know, they know the power. They know the attracting power of the God. You know what I mean? Was the point that I was trying to make.
Man, what brother Jabbar gotta say, man? He just got a whole cannon, and I just want to hear
Nah,
what I get. Like, he be saying some real stuff, man. I'm big,
yeah,
big supporter of you.
I'm gonna lean on in the cut on this one, man. I think y'all unpacked a lot in this one, man. I know we probably could have went a little deeper, but I really had wanted to hear from the NGE. I wish some of them was up here because I really wanted to hear their perspective so they can defend their, position towards the Father being the fulfillment of that other
Right,
part of the book. So
right,
that's why I didn't even really want to lay all the minds out. I really want to give them a chance to defend their position first.
right. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the, and that's why I said earlier, I'm like, it's actually layers to this conversation. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And it's like, I'm like Brother Jabal just said, yeah, I really wanted him to come on. I would have loved it. Dark Kim would have came on. I would have sent him
Yeah,
an
me too.
interview. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's like
Yeah.
dudes be running and
I asked
skipping.
him in the
You know what I'm
comment,
saying?
God. We was
Say it
going
again.
back and forth we was going me and the God Darkim, we was going back and forth in the comment section. But then when I asked him, I said, bro, it's just so much more to unpack dealing with this topic. So I said, if you want to do a live streaming or a bill on the subject about the video, I said, we can. I said, let me know if it's a go, and I drop my mail so you can contact me, but he never did respond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I
But
Yeah.
think in that same video, you asked them the same thing to come up and build with you,
Yeah.
and he got up out of there.
Hey, he's still running from me from the whole tribe of Jabbar.
Yeah.
He's
I
still
got a
running.
tribe. I got a whole tribe.
yeah, I try.
Hey,
You've been building
he
hard,
got a
guy. You've been
tribe,
building
God,
hard.
and he got a tribe, God, and he named it after you.
Yeah, man.
You made
Yeah.
yours in the concrete jungle, though.
Yes, sir.
You
Yeah,
Concrete
try-
junk. Yeah.
yeah. Pardon self 1 second.
I
Yeah,
like to
man.
say this, God. I found this to be extremely interesting. For one though, I say to Darkim on what's the word, to his point or on his behalf, like the video was new to him. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I
Like I
seen
said,
that.
most of us had a chance to go over that. You know what I mean? Go over it and even debate others on the subject. You know what I mean? But so you know what I mean. He need more time to go over it and everything and draw
Mhm.
everything up. But
Yeah.
what I did find super interesting though in his bill was super interesting, man. And nobody said nothing in the comment section about it. You know, I could be wrong. I ain't read all the comments, Jabbar. You know what I mean? You and Fahiym could probably tell me better. But the interesting part to me is that he was all for a prophecy when it related to the father.
Mhm.
But you know what I mean? When we talk about prophecies unfolding, it's mockery going on, it's laughter going on, it's
Mhm.
we crazy going
Mhm.
on, we spooky, you know what I mean? All of these terms fly our way when we talk about prophecy being fulfilled. But the very
Mhm.
first time he thought Allah might be in that, it was all good. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody think it was spooky or nothing.
Mhm.
So it's like I said before, we use these terms and they're not properly um what's the word, studied. They're not properly studied and assessed or what have you. And we just be throwing terms around loosely, saying, you know, this is spooky, that is spooky. And it's like I said in the other bill, the original man writes his history ahead of time. So if we write our history ahead of time, 25,000 year cycles, and then we walk into it, how is that spooky? You see what I'm saying? We already know what's to happen because we scienced it up. You know what I mean? Before it happened. That's why you see so many prophecies fulfilled in Bible and Quran. You know what I mean? It's not spooky. They dealing with a higher principle of mathematics beyond this world and what they capable of understanding. But obviously it's true if so many things have bore fruit. Like prime example, our lessons tell us, who is that mystery God, right? Ask that question, who's that mystery God? And they go on to answer it for us. There is not a mystery God. The Son of Man has searched for that mystery God for trillions of years, right? And was unable to find the mystery God, right? It says, they go on to say, so they have agreed that the only God is the Son of Man. So they lose no time searching for that does not exist.
Right.
Right? That quote. So when you look at that, it's like, okay, if it's saying for trillions of years we search for a mystery God now, right? So that means that some people, were unaware who the true and living God was, right? But some are in the knowledge, right? Because it's talking about a secret or what have you. So you science that up. First it says the Son of Man, right? Like, because we all the sons of men, right? We all sons of men. We all have fathers here, right? That make us son of men. So that's in general, right? But the lessons tell us about a specific son of man, right? And when you read scripture, it tells you who that son of man is and what he would do, right? A specific son of man, right?
And
So
where
it
he's
tells
coming
us,
from.
right? It tells us that the son of man, would appear like lightning from the east, even unto the west. So it's telling you he gonna come from the east and appear in the west, right? So that's where we at now in the west. Masfar Muhammad came from the east and appeared in the west, like lightning. You know what I mean? So it's not spooky. We already knew that was gonna happen, and we wrote about it. And then it happened. So it's not spooky. It's that lesson is to tell us that the original man deals with things, thousands of years in advance. You know what I mean? Thousands of years in advance. But the ill part about that is it said that trillions of years, right? Like we search for that mystery God. So what the Son of Man is talking about is the general public. The general public, didn't know who God was, right? Because we said the God of the moon, when he got frustrated, we couldn't speak the same language. He put dynamite in the earth and set it off and blew the moon out into orbit. So when that happened, that's before that time, everybody knew who the most high God was. Whoever was the best knower of the cipher, like he had the most knowledge and the most power, like people knew him. He just walked around regular, just like Allah walked around amongst his sons. Everybody knew who Allah was, right? It was no big deal. But once that catastrophic event happened, that's when Allah began to go into hiding, and he didn't show
You getting
his
deep, man. You getting deep.
right. So only 12 people knew his identity. Only 12 knew his identity, and when one of them leave the seat or one of them pass away, then maybe their son. You know what I mean? I assume their son or maybe someone else from the family will fulfill that role and become a major scientist, right? First, those are minor scientists, they son, and then maybe they fulfill a seat and become a major scientist as time go on. But this sequel is held for trillions of years, right? The Son of Man. So it says, so they have agreed that the only God is the Son of Man. So we lose no time searching for that does not exist, right? So it's telling us from 66 trillion years ago all the way up until 1930, because that's when we agreed. Right? That's when we all agreed you know, and from 1930, right, to 1934, then he left, right? We agree because he told the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad his identity. He broke the circle of the 24 scientists. Before then, only 12 people knew it, but he broke the circle and revealed it to us. So we have all agreed that the only God is the Son of Man, right? You see what I'm saying? It's beautiful. So my point is, if our lessons is a physical book and it's real knowledge that somebody manifested to us, right? So if what was concealed is real, then the revealers of it also must be real, right? We can't say, yo, I'm reading the Supreme Wisdom book and I'm reading the physical book in my hand with knowledge in it, and the book is real, right?
Yeah.
So, but I want to say the revealers of the book are unreal. You know what I mean? It don't make sense. Don't make sense, guy. Like somebody revealed this history to us. So the book is real, the history is real, then that means the people that concealed it are also real. But it's telling us how God operates, his mind. So that shouldn't shock us because, you know, the white man operate in the same capacity. He do things, you know what I mean, into the future, 50 years into the future, 100 years into the future, 1,000 years into the future. Like, you see what I'm saying? They operate in the same capacity. Some of them know that they won't be around to experience things, but they do it for the next generation coming after them. So when you look at the Constitution, you look at that, all of that stuff in the Constitution and the amendments and stuff that they added to it, all of that was saying this is what we're going to do, and this is going to be for our progeny. We're going to establish a land, a nation, and this is the ground rules we're going to set it on. We're going to rule it by this way. So we come along now, it's 200 years later. 200 years later, we still operating off of the document that the founding fathers put into motion then. So they think into the future. See what I'm saying? So that's how they think. We see that in Message of the Black Man. The same thing. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote about one of them saying he didn't want no light to get into the minds of the slave. You see what I'm saying? So they write things for future generations. So if they think that way, we got to know that the God also operating that way, but on a higher level, So it's not spooky. So, you know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. We can't measure reality based off of our ignorance, like what we're not aware of. You know what I'm saying? The things that you're not aware of, you say it don't exist because you're not aware of it. You know what I mean? But that's a real physical example that we have, though, is these lessons. You know what I mean? So if the lesson is revealed and it's real, then the concealer is real too. They just operated behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? Because we men, it's just like I said earlier in the video, is that because we men, their identities, you know what I mean, are concealed for their protection and also to execute the plan. So, you know what I mean? You don't know who Master Fard Muhammad was. He came in 1910. He came in 1910 and moved around. Nobody knew who he was. He moved around white folks. He went to the universities in California. Some say UCLA. Some say USC. He went to several universities and studied. Nobody knew who he was for 20 years. And then he decided to make himself known to us in 1930, you know what I mean? Briefly, like partially who he was, but fully when he left in 1934, 35, like between that time frame, the messenger revealed his identity fully. So that's just how the gods operate. And we see that pattern. We see it in Moses, right? Because in the story of Moses, Pharaoh wanted to kill Moses, the baby, right? His identity was hidden. You see the same story repeated with Jesus of King Herod looking for Jesus. He wanted to murder him, so Mary and them dipped off and went to Egypt. You see what I'm saying? There's always a measure of hiding because we in the war. You know what I mean? And when you're in the war, you know what I mean? You're going to protect the identity of certain people. So in the war, it is a rule that you can't salute your superior officer outside. You can't, because you out in the open. So
Yeah,
they like
point
think,
them
what
out.
if a sniper is around? Sniper's around, he see you saluting me, then he gonna know, oh, that's an officer. If I get an officer, then that's gonna hurt them because of what he got in his head is a value because he went to school, he went to military school to learn strategy, this, that. So if I get the officer, I'm hurting them. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how people in war think. So we look at the 24 scientists, you know what I mean, whether major or minor, they operate in this whole thing. So of course they stay concealed. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's the same thing with the people they designate to give the knowledge to. They remain concealed until it's time, what have you. So I just thought that was interesting that, you know, the God Darkim, you know, when he thought that it was referring to Allah, you know what I mean? He got excited over it, you know, which he should, which he
Mm-hmm.
should. Because, you
Yeah,
know,
I didn't point that out because I didn't know what the God take was on, the black man writing history in advance and prophecy. I didn't know what his take was on that, but I assumed that if he was saying that the prophecy referred to Father Allah, then his take on, that's why I was gonna go in. I'm gonna give him a chance to see if he gonna invite me or either the God they son up because I'm really interested to see what this brother got to say on this, man, because he was so excited. I'm like, bro, we been on that, bro. That's old news
yeah.
to us, brother.
But
Yeah.
none of them responded in the comments on when he said that it was all peace. You know, and I'm just speaking about other videos I saw, other videos, and not just him. I'm not singling him out, in particular, but that's how the NGE think overall. Like anything that's outside of their scope of thinking, they relegate it to spookiness. You know what I mean? And that's really not even the definition of spooky. You know what I mean? Really, we
Right.
talk about a
It's
spook
being
God
religious.
because it's invisible because it don't exist. But
Mm-hmm.
Master Muhammad is not a spook guy. He was a real live flesh and blood bone human being. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That people saw. It ain't like Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was taught in the cave and nobody saw Master Farah. Like 25,000 people in the city of Detroit alone got a righteous name. And Chicago. You know what I mean? Wasn't even limited to just Detroit. It
Detroit.
was thousands also in Chicago and Milwaukee too. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Milwaukee too.
Masfar
Yeah.
Muhammad went to Milwaukee. So thousands of people he taught. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He's a real person. So he can't be equated to a spook. A spook is invisible because it doesn't exist. It's a made up concept. You know what I mean? So we just see that how our lessons are, and it's a lot of concealing and stuff that goes on in them, and this could be pointed out in different degrees. You know what I mean? And like I said, the pluses in Bible and Quran as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say real quick. I mean, what you said, I don't know why you would think that that would be common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like to if we study patterns, right? Like we know that God moves in a particular way, because we have like a flow chart to like, or we see a book with all of these different examples in there that, so at least we have a good determination of what the Most High is, planning on doing. Like whenever a warner is sent, what do you think the Most High is planning? Well, we know that one is going to be raised from among that people that are being downtrodden or oppressed or whatever. One is going to raise up from among them, and more than likely he's going to be that ruler that is going to overthrow you because you're trying. So it's like, the Satan knows the patterns of God. But as students, of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, or just students of these lessons, period, 5%ers, whether you Nation of Islam, M.G.C, think it's important to understand patterns, whether they're geometrical patterns or whatever. Prophecy is something that is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not fake, like the God just said. The whole religiosity popped up. What the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said 66 trillion years ago. Because of
Right.
course, like the God mentioned, when the God went into hiding, point, people started to, create concepts and stuff in their mind of, oh, what do you think God is? What do you think God is? What do you think? And we see some of these practices go back for thousands and thousands of years.
Hey, brother
Hey,
Fahiym,
guy,
can
you
I
got
say something?
mute somebody on mic because some it's like some feedback coming through one of the mics.
It's probably
Oh,
me.
okay,
But
okay,
brother
my
Fahiym,
bad.
can I say something right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I just want to say that I posted something on my X/Twitter, and I said, don't teach God if you don't comprehend God. God is not um, fairy tale. God is not over exaggeration. God is not a spook. If you can't comprehend God, don't teach God. And I was speaking to Muslims, Christians, and Jews. But I've been reading my books from Elijah Muhammad, and he taught me that God is a self-created being. He started from an atom, and you built it on this before. He started from an atom, and he created himself. Then he created man, and he created woman. So just like how our body is kind of a reflection of the earth is a reflection of our body. So like God could come into another person, God could come and form himself with fire, just like what the Bible said with Moses. The earth,
That that's
the
figurative. That's figurative language, though, guy. What's figurative language when they talk like that in the Bible, like the burning bush and all of that, not to
Yeah,
be taken literal, because God is a
yeah.
man.
yeah. I was going to let the guy.
It's not
I was going
taken
to let him. I was going
as
to let him finish making
literal,
his
but
point.
it's he everything came from God, and he was self-created. What they call the 666 protons and all that is it's just like once you get into a deeper understanding, you seeing that everything is up, and that's one debate. One of my favorite ministers is Leo Muhammad, and he was going against a Muslim called Ali Dawa, and he was just like, "How is God in this man? And how is God electricity?" He's like, you're doing shook. You shook." Like, that's how he was talking, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
God is God. God is God, God
Reality.
is the makeup of what is going on. God could form himself into anything. God is he's a this. But
He's reality.
Yeah.
Indeed.
He's reality. He's reality. But and I understand what you're saying. But at the end of the day, you know, God is a man. You know what I'm saying? Overall, among any other thing, and the reason why we know that is because God is supreme intelligence. Supreme intelligence. Now, animals and stuff that we look at and stuff, they have intelligence. Trees have an intelligence. If you study the botanical world, and you know what I'm saying, you know,
Yes, sir.
everything has some form of intelligence. But the thing that makes man stand over those things is because, you know what I'm saying, we can make choices. We can make decisions. I can go with what's naturally sound in the universe, or I could do something that is completely against the universe. You know what I'm
Indeed.
saying? Like,
Well, I
like,
got a question. I got a
yes,
question
sir.
I want to pose that to ponder on.
Yes, sir.
Yaqub was predicted, prophesied. Moses predicted, prophesied. Jesus prophesied, predicted. There will be one like Moses coming, prophesied. Abraham was given a covenant that his seed will go through something, predicted, prophesied. If you look through the history, Honorable Elijah Muhammad may not been, even if he just for a tidbit that if his name wasn't Elijah, the man that was to perform the work that he did, he was predicted and prophesied. You can go to the books and you can see each one where and who was going to do what. The Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, he's in the book. If they're saying, and anybody is saying, that Father Allah is a succession or is this, is that, can anybody show me where he was predicted and prophesied?
I would say this. Touch on you dropped a few bombs and Jews in your bill. I heard the minister say that, we know that Father Allah, Clarence 13X, his work was divine. He said because it's still here. It lasted. You know what I mean? So it stood the test of times when you think of the different teachers that rose up from amongst black people. You know what I mean? I would say that. I can't say go into a specific verse or what have you, Holy Qur'an or anything like that. But the good work that he did is still bearing fruit. You know what I mean? We settle on that as the best part. But you said something to veggie back or what you were saying in terms of the God, like the gods ridicule and ridicule the gods for saying Muslim gods. And they feel like when we call ourselves Muslim, that's a reduction from God because submission is evolved. Submission. So submission seems to be, like a decrease of power. Some even see it as feminine. They say only earths submit. But when you think of the grand scheme of things, right? Like it's something that Fahiym, this is crazy because something Marco Ja said, Fahiym said, and Seven Truth stuff is all come together in a circle, a cipher. Like, so the God, he created the universe, right? And everything in it is of righteousness. The whole universe, because the whole universe was created in truth, right? It's truth. Like when you start studying things, whatever it is, whether it's an atom, whether it's a neutron star, something, it's all based in truth, like something that could be measured, something that can be verified, right? And studying this that way all the time. So everything submits, meaning that whatever is created was created for a purpose. And it revolves in that purpose, and nothing goes outside of that purpose except Shaitan. Shaitan was the only thing in creation that was made to go against, truth, to go against, righteousness. So the universe we live in is a righteous universe, and that's why the principles that govern it are like that. And it's in our nature, right? Is in our nature. So when the God created it like that, and there's no one else in the universe, he still is in submission to the laws that he set in motion. So he, like you said, he submitted to righteousness. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how he designed the universe. He designed it, from his own being, and that's the will that he had in mind. So to give this some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Give this some type of practicality. Is you just look at your household, right? Like when you get the knowledge yourself, right? And you born to your family, you tell your family, listen, ain't no more swine in this house. We ain't eating no more swine. You know what I mean? We ain't dealing with the devilishment, with lying, to one another, all of this. You set that law in motion, right? You also under that law, right? You can't say to yourself, yeah, listen here, Earth. Ain't gonna be no more of that swine and then she come in the room and junk later on and see you eating the big ham hock and stuff. Like You know what I mean? It ain't gonna fly.
God, I can
You
do
see what I'm
that. I'm
saying?
God. I can do that. I'm
I
God.
thought he was gonna say
Right.
pork chop. That joke is
Yeah.
a hell.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't gonna fly like in terms of the kingdom you trying to build. Like she gonna see that as hypocrisy. You know what I mean? So sooner or later she ain't gonna respect the law. If she don't respect the law, she ain't gonna teach her babies to respect the law. You know what I mean? Now you living in disorder. You living in chaos and stuff because the own law, that righteousness you ain't uphold, set in motion. Like so you see what I'm saying? The God submitted to his own laws that he put in the universe because they're his laws and they're his nature. So the submission thing, like I don't run from that. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Me
deep.
personally, it's different ways to see God, but I say, yo, submission is right and exact, and that's based on our nature. So we set laws into motion and we submit to them. That's to make us different from the devil. Abdullah taught on that. You know, the devil, he make a rule and he break it all the time. You see
First
what I'm
one to
saying?
break it.
He did that to the Moors. You know what I mean? He did that to the Moors. He do that to the Panthers. You know, he just changed the laws. Like one day you could carry guns, and as soon as they ran up in the White House, next you know, he changed the law on them. You know what I mean? And he
Excuse
just
me,
like when you
state
look at the Bill
capital,
Cosby case, the
state
Bill
capital, state capital.
Yeah.
the state capitol, right? The
Yeah, in
Bill Cosby
California.
case, they supposed to have did a deposition, right? When you do the deposition, they supposed to seal it. They not supposed to like bring it up again in the public court again. Like, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be sealed, but they, you know what I'm saying? They broke that law. They didn't matter. They just wanted Bill Cosby. So they violated that law. You say you ain't supposed to perjure yourself when you're in the witness, but the lady that, you know, went after Bill perjure herself, I believe it was like 6 times. You know what I'm saying? Like perjury is a crime. You know what I mean? But she didn't get charged with no crime and none of that. Like, so you know what I mean? The devil put laws in motion. He don't submit to them. So that's devilishment. You see what I'm saying? You know, I'm not saying this to say everyone is perfectly righteous to the Lord, but we supposed to strive for righteousness. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to condone being in rebellion against righteousness. So saying you Muslim, you just saying, listen, you know, I submit my will to do the will of another person more knowledgeable than me. So you just think about it. If you knew a person that knew the future thousands of years in advance, like how can you in your mind justify, you know what I mean, go rebelling against this person? You see what I'm saying? Like he knows the future and he has power. He has power and wisdom because when we say power, we talking about wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the wisdom that makes you powerful, that make people submit. That's why when the son submitted to the father, is he had more knowledge than them. These days, the teenagers running around, but the father was studying the knowledge of God. So when he came with this wisdom, you know what I mean? It's so powerful, something that they never heard before. Your nature compel you to submit to it. So they listened to the father. The father told them, yo, we're not swining no more. Get rid of the devil's names. They did it. You know what I mean? They in submission. Why? Because for one thing, what he's saying is right. It's our nature. Your nature telling you he right. See, it resonate with your nature. They could have rebelled because they was rebellious teenagers. They was doing criminal stuff. You know what I mean? Black Messiah, and then was like, you know, they was running the streets. You see what I'm saying? But when they heard that wisdom, you know what I mean? They like, yeah, this is what I've been looking for my whole life. You know what I mean? And when they submitted to the law, their power increased. You see what I'm saying? When they submitted to the law, their power increased. They begin to build that magnetic attraction. So now other youth seeing them, like, yeah, man, they the same age as us, but look at what they talking about. So you see what I'm saying? Look at the wisdom they spewing. So first they had to discipline themselves, submit, and listen. They had to listen to what the father was putting down, for one. See what I'm saying? Submission. And then they had to study themselves, right? Science it up in their own mind, get a handle on it before they go out and teach it to others. But they also dealing with refinement. You know what I mean? So like the God was saying, I think you said Hakeem, he was saying like, yo, these guys look sharp. You know what I mean? Look how they look. They the same age as us, but they dressing sharp. You know what I mean? They know they dealing with self-defense. Father teaching them martial arts, different
Oh,
things.
firstborn Hakim from Brooklyn, from Medina.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So it is all about submission. That doesn't reduce your power. That increases your power because it's your own nature. And you submit it to something that's righteousness. And because the universe was designed to be righteous, that's why the devil can't stop. That's why the devil can't stop the minister. So if you look at all our celebrities, right? All our celebrities, they're gods. You know, because it ain't no mystery God. There is not a mystery God. That's what our lessons tell us. So when you look at the Robert Kellys, the R. Kellys, the P. Diddy's, you see what I'm saying? All of these people are literally gods that walk amongst us, right? Because they develop their craft right to that level. And you also gain knowledge by moving and navigating through these circles. Like their knowledge is beyond the average person in certain fields, not in everything, but in whatever field they dealing with, right? Their scope is beyond the average person's sight, right? But because they don't submit to the laws, is how the devil grabbed them. That's why the devil grabbed them, shake them, and throw them in jail or do this is because they don't want to submit to the law of Islam, the law of righteousness. They submit to that. What the devil can't handle them the way he handling them. You know what I mean? But he's looking to the brown germ within us. You know what I mean? And because we give in to that brown germ, we short circuit our power. You know what I mean? But you look at the minister, you look at the messenger, you know what I mean? They couldn't do nothing with him. They couldn't do nothing with him because both of them submit to the law of a God more knowledgeable and more powerful than them. Not only because he's more powerful than them, but at the end of the day, it's our own nature anyway. You see what I'm saying? So the rebellious that we pick up is the stuff that we learn from this world. Also, our brown germ, but mostly our condition as Black people in this day and age is what we learn here by being under the thumb and rule, of the devil. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, man. So when we say we Muslim God, we saying we submit our will to do the will of another more knowledgeable than us, more powerful, just like the firstborns did with the father, because he was more knowledgeable and more powerful than them in their wisdom. So they submitted. So we're not saying nothing that's spooky, and ain't no such thing as spooky. You know what I mean? If you could write history in advance, why wouldn't you listen to a person unless you don't really believe your lessons? You don't really
Right.
believe that the original man is Allah and write his history ahead of time. So that's
Right.
why when it's matters of faith, you ridicule it, you scrutinize it, because in truth, it takes exercise for faith. Like, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. And I'm not saying this to bash the gods. I'm not, this is not my thing to bash the gods, because it requires an exercise like a muscle for faith. But you do little things. You take a little step. You know what I mean? Your faith rewards you. It give you more strength, more power to do something more difficult. You know what I mean? To do something more difficult and increase because faith only means like something you can't see. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you bring into existence. That could be a song. You know what I mean? You got to have faith to get. You see a fly sister, earth. You know what I'm saying? Or wisdom. You attracted to. You got to have faith that you can get her to even get up the courage to talk to her. You see what I'm saying? That ain't spooky. You know what
I
I'm
was gonna
saying?
say.
If you
I
want
was
to
gonna say
start
just
a
that.
business, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say just real quick to add. I mean, it takes you. They don't understand mathematics, supreme mathematics, right? Because you got to understand mathematics in order to even have faith.
Indeed,
Mm.
for real, because
You know what I'm saying? If
because
you don't
how you
understand science and mathematics, how can you have faith unless you don't know what that word faith means? See, they think just means like, you know, You know, the man is going to jump off the moon or he's going to fly in a spaceship. And, like they don't have any, if you don't have any mathematics or science to back that thought that you're saying, then then it's foolishness. It's not nothing rooted in truth or anything. But scientists have faith,
Yes,
like,
sir.
again, they call it hypothesis, when they hypothesize or, what I'm
Educated
saying?
guess.
An educated guess, what I'm saying?
Yes,
A
sir.
conjecture, what I'm saying? I mean,
That's right.
you got to have knowledge to even do that, but yeah, I just wanted to add that to what you were saying. Yes, sir.
Yeah, God, like that to me, that's the whole crutch. But the guys can see that reflected in the 85er. Because when you go and tell the 85er truth that the black man is God, they can't see it. But none of us could see it at first. It's something maybe that, we felt because it is our nature. So it began to wake something up in you. You see what I'm saying? So you felt it first, the first time you heard, the black man is God. But you don't really know. You know what I mean? It's just something that resonates with your nature because you
Sounds
are the
nature.
God. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
So
Yeah.
the Quran tells us over and over to have patience. When you read it, it says, seek patience. Why seek patience? Because the God dealing with things thousands of years in advance. You got to be patient. You know what I mean? You got to be patient. So the God Seven Truth said earlier, he talked about Yaqub and how he taught his people, right? He taught his people on a luxury basis, right? That's what Message of the Black Man tell us, on a luxury basis. That's how he got them in Mecca, right? He telling them like, yo, you don't want to work, man. I know somebody, we get somebody to work for us. They was like, word? This the modern translation that they say, word by.
Mm.
So, you know what I mean? Their ears went up like a dog ear and just like how. Next thing you know, he had them hooked. They start listening to his teachings and they became such a nuisance, they packed the jails with him. But that didn't happen with that generation. You see what I'm saying? What Yaqub said to them was absolutely the truth. But it didn't happen in that generation. You know what I mean? It happened in future generations, right? Thousands of years later, because remember, they went into the caves for 2,000 alone. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? They ain't bring us into slavery until some say 1,000 years ago. I guess if you count the Indian Ocean slave trade, but then 500 years the Atlantic Ocean slave trade. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? But look how it took thousands of years for that to manifest. But it was true. But so the generation, you know what I mean, that came before that happened, oh man, Yakub was just, he don't know what he talking about. He's selling us fairy tales. He's selling us this. But look, they went and took over the world. So the first generation that left Mecca and got on them ships, like it became a reality and they took over the known world. But it took time. Because why? Because God is a man. So God is a man, he ain't living 25,000 years. Most of them get bored after living 1,000 years. You see what I'm saying? Most of them, 500 years, they get bored and then they die. But because life is a continuum, things can't be done in one lifetime. So it's spread out. So you got to have patience. You see what I'm saying? Don't mean that it ain't some I've seen some people throw away Islam just because, we ain't get free in the time span they thought we should get free in. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? They forsake it. But that's because they don't read the Quran. They can't see that it's real. You know what I mean? But most of us that study, we seen so much of it come true that we can't forsake it or throw it away. Like we exposed to too much truth. Everything that the minister done did in the last 40 years, what the messenger did in the last 80 years, like it's too much truth done developed that you could read in your Quran and Bible and your lessons that say is true. So
You
patience
know,
is the key.
you know too much now. You know what I'm saying? Or once your knowledge, again, scientific literacy. You know what I'm saying? Once your knowledge of science and mathematics elevates, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Fahiym, can I
You
say
know,
something?
yes, sir.
I, I would just, I just want to say, I've been, I got knowledge of self 8 years ago, and I understand how you can come to somebody and say that oh, the black man is God, but to a newborn, it can be confusing to somebody. I like what Brother Fahiym said in his past videos. I like to give them the fish and take the bone out, or I like to give the baby milk instead of steak, and and tell them how the black man is God. But I just with this whole discussion, I just feel like even though we all say we have knowledge of self and we have the lessons, still is differences, still different perspectives of what God is. And to me, I would say, hey, you know, yes, God is a man, God is a self-created man and everything. But I'm just speaking for myself. Like I believe in a supreme being. I believe in God. I believe that it's a supreme being. And then when I was reading about Elijah Muhammad, and he says that it's a different God every 25,000 years, he was speaking about people. He was speaking just like how he said how the white man has been God of this world. So I'm just speaking from my experience. It can be confusing when you're at 85 and you're trying to go into Islam, and there's some people in Islam are saying, hey, you can never look at a human being as God. And then you go to Christianity and they're telling you, hey, you can look at a human being as God, like as in Jesus Christ. But it's not about, like, when you really get into the teachings and get the knowledge with some understanding, it's beyond religion. It's the truth, and it will set you free. But I just feel like the comprehension of God is not collected all around, and that's something that has to be builded more. But when you, like, say if you're a M.G.C, Nation of Gods and Earths, and you're talking about, hey, I don't gotta submit to something, I'm God, and that's borderline to me Satanism, because that's what the Satanism, they know the truth. They know that they're gods. They know the same thing that we do. we like
And they know what to keep you away from, so you don't reach that level.
I would say this, guy. I mean, I won't go that far to say Satanism, but I understand your point in terms of like some devilishment there in terms, but that's all according to, you know, the heart. Like, I believe, this is my personal opinion. Like, I believe that's why the Holy Quran speaks about the heart and the heart being diseased. You know what I mean? Because what we experience is here, it affects our heart. And, you know, when they say a heart, you know, our thinking, the core, you know, the heart is the core, the center of your thinking. So it's saying the heart, like, things that we experience affect us. And because it affects us in a certain way, that's what makes us either accept when we hear the truth, or the black man is God, or what have you, or reject it. You see what I'm saying? Reject it. So to me, I don't feel no kind of way that the God say I'm not Muslim. You know what I mean? I don't feel, you say you're not Muslim, all right, you're not Muslim. And I don't feel no way about it. My only contention is that I'm saying I'm Muslim. Like, you telling me that I ain't true and living, because that's how I self-identify, you know, because that's what our lessons tell us. So if you don't want to be Muslim, that's peace. You know, we all not going to come the same way. You know, the Holy Quran tells us that, and the Bible tells us that people going to come different ways. Some going to get raised out of their grave, like, meaning because they get over what holds them back in life, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's women, whether it's food. Like, they come out of that grave and they'll see, oh, yeah, this the right way, right? But some of us going to come because we're going to do battle with the military might of this world. Some going to get woke up that way. You know what I mean? Some people will be born into the nation. Some people will hear a word that'll transform their thinking. Like, it's all different avenues to get to the truth. So if God say, you know what I mean, I'm not Muslim, you know, I ain't mad at you. Like I love the fact that you studying the words of the messenger and Master Farah. Like, you know, you got a different path to get there. You see what I'm saying? But when you tell us that we spooky or that we ain't God, because we saying that's when you crossing the line. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I agree with the same thing. I mean, again, you can call yourself whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really matter to me. The whole problem comes in is when you start telling me that, oh no, you ain't no real Muslim, you just, or you ain't no real God, or you're not supposed to be wearing the universal flag, and that's our flag. And I'm like, I mean, it was a wise Muslim God, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, who put that out there. So if anything, how am I not supposed to be so
Great
that's
point.
really where the problem comes in, when you start telling me that I'm not, like, you know what I'm saying? Because we're more consistent with the supreme wisdom, aka 120 lessons, than I think any other, 5%ers.
Man, you just dropped a bomb then. But you said the messenger said it was a wise Muslim God that put the moon out there. Wow.
He
Yeah, I
told
got
the
to
brother
use
that,
that one.
man. He said, yo, that's
Yeah.
our flag, man. That's our
Yeah, I got to
flag. I'm
use that one.
like,
Yeah.
no, how is it your flag? I mean, a Muslim God
Wow.
there, like,
Wow.
God, you know it's funny too. I wanted to address because not funny, but just peculiar. Like, because I happen to be writing that subject in the book I'm developing. But I think it was a commenter. He commented, about the 8 phases of the moon. And Darkim asked him to build on it. You know what I mean? Like, manifest the science on it. And he took a while, but he finally like divulged some of the signs on it, the 8 phases. But I wanted to address Darkim and tell him that, like, because that's the science in our flag. Like you said, is our we made the moon. You know what I mean? So that's why it's in our flag. Because when Master Father Muhammad came, he's telling us that, listen, even though that you are on the bottom of civilization, you at the bottom of society, like, this belonged to you, the real physical sun, the literal sun, the moon, and the stars all belong to you because human beings made them. Your descendant, I mean, your ancestors made them, and you their descendants. So you inherit what they made. You know what I mean? And one day we'll wield the power to make a star. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If we choose to. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So everything is real. Just because that science was like, what's the word? It was suppressed. It was suppressed in us when the devil came on the planet, because the devil came on the planet to do a job. So, you know what I mean? Some of our abilities had to be suppressed in order for him to do whatever he did. And even then, we were still seen as gods. Like, when you look at the history of how the Greeks looked at the Egyptians and what have you, and that was us on our decline mentally and spiritually. You know what I mean? We was going to sleep. And that's what the Sphinx is. You know what I mean? The lion going to sleep in the desert, basically. So the Bible tell you, the a lion will be awakened in Judah. You know what I mean? The conquering lion. So
amen.
so yeah, right. So when you look at the phase, like in our flag, be it the universal flag or the universe flag, what I mean, you see that crescent moon. So the moon got 8 stages. I don't know if y'all could picture this in your mind, but the first, let's say we start from the new moon, right? So the new moon is when you can't see the light of the moon, right? On the new moon, sometimes you'll hear writers say, like people that write novels or what have you, they'll be like, it was a moonless night. You know what I mean? The moon is always there, but it's just
Right,
that the angle, the sun is not hitting it towards the light because the moon don't give off its own light, right?
right.
So in the new moon, the crescent moon you see, it's called a waxing moon, a waxing crescent, right? So that's what we have in our flag. That's the first one, right? So then Some it depends on what you get. They'll say first quarter. That's like a half. The next one is a half moon, right? So first is a quarter, crescent moon, and then the next phase is a half moon is lit up, right? And then after that, it goes like kind of like three quarters of the moon is lit up. That's called a waxing gibbous, right? So that's the third phase, a waxing gibbous. And then the fourth one is a full moon, like it's fully illuminated. You can see the whole moon, lit up. That's four phases, right? So then the same thing happens, but in reverse, to the end of the month, because it's 29 days. So after that full moon, then you will see it's called the waning gibbous, where it's three quarters lit up, right? Three quarters lit up in the crescent of it, a part of it is dark, right? And then it'll go to a half moon, right? And then the next stage, it'll go to a crescent waning, but it's pointed, in the direction to the east. You see what I'm saying? To the east. And then, the new moon. So that's four phases, what I mean, of the moon. So the reason that we have a crescent moon is because it's the first like stage of a new moon. So we introducing a new world. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at the Turkish flag is the waning, it's the waning crescent, because that world is ending. You see what I'm saying? That world is ending. So it's in the last phase before it go to that new moon. So that's why it's a waning. Waning mean it's gonna decrease, and waxing mean it's gonna increase. The sunlit portions and stuff. So we got that crescent because it's the beginning of a new world that we ushering in, like the beginning of a new moon.
Doesn't it mean an ending of a? Doesn't it mean an end and a beginning at the same time? That's how I was kind of feeling on what you were saying. Doesn't it mean an end and a beginning?
The crescent, the
Yeah,
crescent
in
moon.
a kind of way.
Yeah, you could say that because their world is ending. That's why I said the Turkish flag is three quarters. Like their world is in there. It's a waning crescent. They both are a crescent, but theirs is in the last quarter, like waning. Ours is in the new is a new crescent. It's waxing, so it's just increasing. Theirs is decreasing. So the light of Islam is going out in their world. The light of Islam and ours is increasing. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm confusing. Yeah, but that's the signs of why we got a crescent
I would
moon
say
in our
like
flag.
I heard like the first symbol of Islam was just a solid black flag, and then it came to a moon. It was black, just solid black like the universe. And it came to a half crescent moon, and now I kind of find that a little interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
they had one that was a war too. It was like one they used when they went to war. But that's like during Prophet Muhammad days. You know what I mean? Prophet Muhammad days, the flag that you talking about. You know what I mean? So it did have different evolution in terms of what they use. You know what I mean? But as the God said, that's our flag because we made it 66 trillion years ago in the sun. So, you know what I mean? That's the flag that we use is just symbolize those things. So that's why it's drawn the way it is. It's just to symbolize certain things. But really, you know what I mean? The sun, moon, and stars is just ours, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was
Right.
gonna ask you brothers real quick, have y'all been keeping up with the latest stuff they've been talking about this three eye atlas and stuff? Y'all been keeping up on any of that lately, or
I
what they've
have.
been saying lately? Yeah, I was looking at it, but then I kind of like,
can you say that one more time?
no, I was saying, has anybody been keeping up with this comet, so-called comet that they've been saying three eye atlas? That's came into our star system, into our solar system from another solar system or star system. They said that it's been traveling for millions of miles to get here, and now that it's within our solar system, what they're trying to do now, astronomers are trying to study it and, just see, how it's moving and, how it's, if it's any chemicals and stuff that's being released from this object or whatever the case may be, but I just bring that up to just say, there's just so many new developments and new breakthroughs now within the scientific community, the mainstream scientific community. You know what I'm saying? That the devil is starting to see and understand little by little. And, it just gives us the reminder that, in the Holy Qur'an, Allah says before he destroys a nation, he'll allow them to peek into his wisdom,
To the
so
heavens,
we see
right?
that,
Brother Fahiym, I
yeah,
gotta go. But I did want to. I remember you teaching that the majority of what Master Bar Muhammad taught Elijah was astronomy.
That's correct.
sir.
I mean, he
Yes,
taught
sir.
on the Bible and the Quran, but he was looking in the star. He was,
Yes,
But
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, brother, I'm gonna have to go, man. I'm gonna have to peace out
Peace
to
to
y'all. But
God. Yeah, like I said, we
Peace
about to
to the
jump off in
God.
a few minutes, but
But
yeah,
now,
once a week, God just pop in. We do this
Hey,
weekly, so
I will,
just
man.
come
It's
try to get some other brothers to come too. We gonna try to do this like how we do in Muhammad's mosque. I remember when I was in the mosque in FOI, they would be like, it's not really so much that you coming back to. We know you gonna come back, brother, but you get the big ups when you bring someone, bring a friend. You know what I mean? Bring someone
of
with you
course,
when you come to next time.
of course, brother Raheem. I love you. Love y'all
Yes,
guys
sir.
as well, brother
pray to God.
Jabbar and
yeah,
the
you too,
truth.
Amen.
brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jahad, brother Jahad was really cooking tonight.
Yes, sir.
Peace,
Yes,
peace.
sir.
Cooking.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, y'all please and bless.
I'm
Yes,
All right.
sir.
going
Much
over
love.
y'all recipe, brother. I'm going over y'all recipe. I'm just adding my
Yeah.
little Mrs. Dash to
Yeah.
it.
Indeed, God. Peace.
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 Yeah,
Peace.
yeah,
Peace.
Peace.
yeah,
Peace.
yeah. But yeah, just a lot of new stuff going on with that, and yeah, I think that it's a lot of things that the devil is seeing now that, he wasn't able to see before in the universe, like as far as like how stars and comets move and operate, and he's seeing that this particular comet is doing stuff different from the others. So, that just goes to show that, the deeper we could look out into the universe or the deeper we could look into ourselves, I think that it's like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a, not
Microcosm, macrocosm.
yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the farther we can look out into the universe, you know what I'm saying? It's like really being able to look within self, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And see things on the smallest scale of existence, because like how the brother just mentioned the atom a little while ago, it's like now when the white man looks at the atom, he sees that there's smaller particles that make up the atom, quarks and stuff like that. And
Lipton's.
so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then he sees that there's particles that pop in and out of existence. They'll pop into existence for momentarily and they'll pop out of existence momentarily. So I think that in this universe, I think as scientists, if someone calls themselves a scientist, I think, like there shouldn't be any guessing that is not rooted in uh, the mathematical theology that was given. You know what I'm saying? The basic rudiments of mathematics. You know what I'm saying? If we don't include that, then you can't really make an assumption. You can't really make a educated guess. You know what I'm saying? Because it's out of accord with what nature or reality is.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you put me up on that comment too. I didn't even have no knowledge on it until you made it born to me. That was interesting though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Super
I mean,
interesting.
I haven't really been keeping up with it lately, but yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, man. I mean, they're waiting for it to, I think, pass Jupiter. The astronomers are saying now because we have satellites as far as Jupiter, within our solar system. So they're hoping as it passes by there, they can
Better
get some
look at it.
shots or yeah, get some images and stuff like that. And I guess they would probably shoot a probe to over into it so they can get more studies and find out what's going on. But at the end of the day, we see that the white man is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's looking and he's studying what he can see and observe. And I think that the gods don't do that. They don't study and look at what they can see and observe. Point in case, like how you mentioned earlier about just the glorious wonders of Master Fard Muhammad and what the Son of Man did when he came here. And those things that was prophesied of him, just like things that was prophesied of Yaqub, how he was prophesied, was it the lesson say, what, 8,400 years before his coming, he was prophesied, that he would come and do a work. So I think as scientists, we understand that, but when the M.G.C said that they're scientists, but then mock those teachings as if, we don't have a physical supreme wisdom here today to look at and see all the good that it's done. We
Yeah.
had a physical being, Master Fard Muhammad, here, and we seen what he did. We seen the works. We seen what, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we would dismiss that now because, well, I didn't see it with my own physical eyes. I think that's unscientific, to the 10th degree, to the 10th power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because the science of it is this. Like I said it, I might have said it in a convoluted way, but the reality of it is to simplify it is it's a concealer and a revealer. You know what I mean? But it both got to be from a person. You know what I mean? A person that conceal it, a person that reveal it. Like, you know what I mean? For us to deny that is to deny your very existence and your very power, short circuits your own power. But to speak to Marco Ja, like, I feel like a part of a large reason why that happens is because our family was so spooked out by religion, be it Christianity or Islam, and you want to get away from that spookism. So when you hear the black man is God, like you want to get as far away as you can from false teachings, right?
Right.
But I guess the problem is that we can't go too far to the right or too far to the left. But if you stay in the middle ground, like that's where you good at. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you can't go to either extreme, like all the way to Spookville, and you can't go all the way, you know what I mean, to doubting, things that's to come. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Like it don't make sense not to have, some faith. You just don't want to have faith in malarkey and made up stuff. You know what I mean? Which is understandable.
Right.
But if they be patient, you know what I mean, and God study their lessons from a certain degree or angle, you know what I mean? Like truth will become crystal clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, man. Y'all brothers, brother Jabbar, brother Truth 7. Yeah, because I got to get ready so I could dip out in a second. But let the brothers say their final piece.
Yeah, you
And
gonna
we all
chase that
agree.
comment, God? You gonna go find that comment? You gonna go?
Yeah,
That's what he be
Man,
doing
I
at
really
night,
think they
Jabbar.
doing that as a distraction, man. They got so
yeah.
many
Hey,
tactics in
I'm
it.
about to get my telescope and get out there. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I want to see if.
that's what he be
Hey,
doing, God. At night.
I want to
He
see
be
if these is really.
stargazing.
Hey, I want to see if these is really jet streams that the astronomers are saying,
Yeah,
or is it just the evaporated ice coming off of this rock? You know what I mean? I
yeah,
want to see for myself. But
yeah, yeah.
yes, sir. Yeah, y'all go ahead on and shut it out or whatever, so I can get ready to, what I mean? And inshallah, hopefully, man, again, I want to get some of the M.G.C on here, man, when we have these, because it's
Boy,
like
you
I said
ain't
earlier, this
lying.
in the comment section. Oh, why y'all brothers believe this? Oh, y'all believe Elijah Muhammad's on a spaceship.
Tell his
Oh,
face.
y'all believe,
Hey,
like
yeah,
I
and I
mean,
get what I told
like
the brother though. I
come on
told
here and say that. Like that, it's almost like don't talk shit
Yeah,
behind my back. Say it to my
yeah.
face. I want y'all to come on here. Like how y'all always tell your Lord, come to your Lord. Come on to
hey,
God.
hey,
Come
hey, God.
on.
But I told one of the brothers that when he mentioned it, I said, bro, what's so far fetched about some black men building the airplane that fly faster than the one white folk got? I said, ain't that far fetched about that, bro? You think the white man the only one can build a spaceship and go into outer space?
Right.
But you saying the black man is God, but you don't think we can build a spaceship too?
Right.
I mean, my thing is
We
like I
say
always
you the
tell
maker of
them,
the earth, the maker of the earth, but we can't make a spaceship
like
though.
a
You the
Come
spaceship.
maker.
on, man.
Right. You know, I always tell them, I'm like, at the end of the day, I really don't teach on that because I mean, I don't have no proof of it. I can't prove that the mother plane is up there. I can't prove that Master Father Muhammad is on the mother plane. I can't prove that the messenger's up there or is Minister Farrakhan gonna go. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the white man is like one of my best students in a sense. What was the word the messenger used? Not best students, but he's used best bearer of witness. I think the messenger
That's what he said.
right? He said,
Yes.
he's one of my best bearers of witness. So my thing is, if the lessons say that our mental and brain and capacity is what is it, one third that of theirs is one third that of the original man of the
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like take all of these things into account, and then like what Brother Jihad just said, like yeah, we built a planet. Like, we put a planet out there in orbit. We put a moon out there in orbit. Like we can't build a spacecraft. Like if we
God,
Come
can't
on.
the white man got pictures of the mother plane and it's
They
people,
got
it's
videos and pictures of
all
it.
over the world. It's
Yeah,
bro. When you look at Ilya Rashad book, UFOs in the Nation of
I
Islam,
got
like
that.
it's millions of people that saw UFOs all around the world, bro.
All around the world.
You know, if millions of witnesses of anything is remarkable. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Millions, like, so you can find pictures of it and video. Like AI can even tell like when something is not an authentic video, if it's made up. Like, so it's plenty authentic if you really searching for truth. You know what I mean? But
right.
you
I
know,
think at this point, I think they just say it just to be just ridiculed, just to be idiots. I'm just gonna say
nah,
it. I
it's
mean, it's just, what I'm saying, because that's all common sense, what you just said. And I think most of them, well, I ain't gonna say most of them, but I have common sense to at least know that. So what would make you ridicule is the point that
Mhm.
I'm trying to make. Like
I
again,
think they be. I think they
take my
be.
route and just say I'd rather not talk about it because it's something I can't really prove. But I'm not gonna
I can
ridicule it.
prove it. It's
Yeah.
really self-evident. I told the brother, I said, brother, if I got to prove to you in 2025 that the mother plane and the baby planes are real, I said, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because it's just too much proof. The proof is overwhelming, bro. Even the white man that came out, even at the Pentagon, the devil in America then admitted that they real. Come on, bro.
right.
This man been
That part.
denying this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
Oh,
fact.
your sound went out.
Yes, sir. I can't hear you, God.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Can't hear you. The sound, no sound.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Right.
I thought I hit the mute button by accident, but no, I don't know
Can't
what.
hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna
There you
Oh,
come
there
back.
you
go.
go. There
Yeah,
you go.
now we can hear you.
You can
Yeah.
hear me
Yeah,
now?
the
Yeah.
sound went out for a minute.
Oh, okay. Now I was telling the brother, what the last part y'all heard?
Shoot.
I forgot now.
You
I said
said if you
I
got to
basically
tell
was
you
telling
that
the
the mother
brother
plane
that
exists in 2025.
Right,
yeah, I
right,
don't know what to tell you. If I got to try to prove that to you, that let me know you haven't been keeping up with nothing scientifically going on in the world. So
right.
that just let me know that you're not informed.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah. I
So
mean,
mountain of evidence that exists, bro. Like
yeah.
books.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. To them, what I'm saying, it's almost like I guess I gave up on teaching with that particular because
Go get
there's so
that
many
book.
other things that they misteach. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, again, we sitting here talking about Darkim teaching that Brother Clarence is Elijah Muhammad's successor. He's the Khalifa for Elijah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like so many other things to deal with. I don't even really be getting into that with but yeah,
Yeah,
true. You can pull up documents and stuff that
This
NASA and the
this the book
government
you
and
talking
stuff.
about, God.
that's
Yeah,
the book.
yeah, yeah.
That's the
This
book.
Brother
the book
Ilyar
you talking
Rashad,
about.
I think,
It's
didn't
an
leave his
incredible
stone
book.
unturned when
Yes,
it came
sir.
to that teaching. Yeah, teaching
And,
about UFOs and UAPs and stuff.
and
And
not only that, you combine that book with this book right here. Whoo!
Mm-hmm.
Look how thick this book is.
Yeah, I got that one too.
all of this evidence
Yes,
running
sir.
around here
Chariots
by
of the
Dr.
Black
Wesley.
God. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Chariots of the Black Gods.
Yes, sir.
I was just
Well,
looking at
all I know is y'all guys better have that album by Jay Electronica, the leaflets, all of them.
Mm.
the leaflets.
That sound like somebody who don't know about it.
Yeah, I never tell you about it.
That's a
That's a
dope name
leaflet?
too.
God, y'all not up on God. Y'all got to go to wherever your source is and check out. He dropped 4, if not 5, EPs,
Yeah.
What he
and
got?
on one of them, who killed Michael Jackson? You got to go. You got to listen.
Where's it at on his Instagram? Where could I hear it at?
On
Any
YouTube.
every platform,
I'm gonna check
every
that out.
platform.
And it's called the leaflets.
Leaflets. When
Yeah.
you peel J Electronica, you're gonna see one or maybe 4 or 5 EPs that he dropped. He dropped so much
Yeah.
material, man, blew the
It's
internet
old
up.
and new material
Hey,
combined, right?
I'm
Just,
about to listen
but
to that
mostly
tonight.
new.
I'm about to listen to that tonight when I go back out to work. I'm gonna listen to that.
God, you're
'Cause
gonna end
I
up
didn't even
pulling
know,
over.
God.
You're gonna end up pulling over, and folks gonna be outside your window beating like, "Can we get in?" No, I can't ride y'all tonight. This what I'm listening to. Hey, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, I'm about to
Mm.
check that out, God. You just put me
Well,
on. I
who
didn't even know that
killed
was him.
Michael Jackson? That one, if you can't hit the nut, oh my God, when y'all here, I come, hey, I'm telling you. I'm
Mm.
telling you.
I'm about to check that out,
You
God.
know what's ill about that too? Two things that we were just talking about. Well, for one, too, I wanted to say to the guy Darkim too, because I never said what Supreme Divine I was talking about that used to tell me about Darkim. I'm talking about Supreme Divine from Patterson, Patterson, New Jersey, land of peace and stuff. Yeah, that's Supreme Divine I was talking about. But what I was gonna say is J Electronica album, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I would say is for one, when you look at the devil ruling the world, right? He ruling the world, so he has wisdom and he has
Mm-hmm.
practicality to rule the world, right? That's why he got CIA to watch every other nation on earth. You know what I mean? Spies and all this kind of stuff all around the earth. He got military bases all around the earth, right? So the reason why you know that the wills are real is because money is paid to investigate them. Anytime there's a sighting of a UFO, now they call them unidentified phenomenal aerial phenomenal UAP,
UAP, unidentified,
unidentified.
anonymous, anomalous phenomenon.
No, I think it's aerial phenomenon, right?
It ain't aerial no more. The reason they redefine it as anonymous. You know
Anonymous,
what word I'm trying to pronounce?
anonymous.
Not anonymous. Anonymous.
Oh, like okay,
Anomalous.
I get it. Anomaly, yeah,
Yeah,
like it's an
anomalous.
anomaly. Anomalous, I
Because
get it.
they said that they are transmedium craft, meaning they can travel in space, inside the Earth's atmosphere, and underwater without any
Oh, yeah, that
compromise
makes
to their
sense.
performance. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is they send investigators out. So that costs money. You know what I mean? That costs money. You got to send them travel there. You got to pay them to stay up and with hotels. You know what I mean? They on the clock when they interviewing people, when they taking evidence, this, that, and third costs money. So the devil not going to waste money if it's not real. You don't see him sending people around for Bigfoot. or Loch Ness monster sightings. Like they don't send no investigators out. Was people say I seen the Loch Ness monster, or you know what I mean, Santa Claus or Jesus. I seen white Jesus here, there. Like they don't send no investigators. But with UFOs, like they spend bread. So that's how you know. That's one way of knowing that is real. You know what I mean? Secondly and lastly, was that's taught in Islam. I heard Mother Tanetta teach that about leaflets. Like leaflets will be dropped in your cities, like when the final destruction of America come down. You know what I mean? If we begin to destroy the military might, like these leaflets, you know, you read, it'll tell you like which way to go. You know what I mean? It'll give you some sign of direction to escape the destruction of America before it come down in total. And you know, that's what the leaflet.
And it's going to be dropped in many different languages.
Right.
Yeah.
In many different languages, right? So, you know, him naming the album that's kind of ill right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this: Who Killed Michael Jackson was so powerful and is so powerful. They struck it down from all platforms.
Wow.
It was powerful.
So how you get it then?
Oh, Jay Electronica, he on his Twitter, he put up the link where you can go listen. Plus, you can search it. There's folks, you know how YouTube, you got folks on there that react to albums and stuff like that, music. Some folks got listening parties and such, and they go ahead and play it.
Oh,
When I tell you,
I was gonna say,
if one of y'all right now just go to YouTube, put in Jay Electronica, you're gonna see the latest stuff he dropped. You're gonna be like, wait. All this he dropped in a matter of 3 days.
Man, Fahiym ain't ready for that, man. He got skinny jean rap in his car, man. He got he listen to drill music.
I was just gonna say I don't disagree with that. He dropped that much music because look how long they've been shelving him, you know what I'm saying, holding his music up and not releasing anything. So yeah, I could believe he probably got 5 albums right now to drop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, that was his choice though. That wasn't a label thing.
Yeah.
That was his choice.
Fahiym,
to keep
19 albums.
Yeah.
He got 19 albums.
19.
Yeah.
Why you think he kept pushing them back then? If you say you don't think it was the label,
It was Jay Leck.
Yeah, it was his choice.
Why do you think
he was releasing music? He just wasn't releasing albums. He was releasing like songs periodically, but not like whole albums. But he'd been releasing music the whole time.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But Jay Electronica's been out since what?
2009, 2008, something like that.
Yeah. So I'm like, not one full album. So that's why I'm like, I could see him dropping a double or triple album, or you know what I'm saying? He might be the first to do that too.
Oh God, hey, Jabbar, I wanted to tell him too before we leave. Hey, Seven Truth.
Yeah.
This Fahiym, listen, this for the NGE and because we told them before. Sometimes we disagree. You know what I mean? We still brothers. Just because we disagree don't mean we ain't brothers. So we don't agree on everything as Muslim guys. This Fahiym telling me, oh, I don't agree with brother Jihad. Who want to teach the babies? I don't want to teach no old. No. You don't want to teach no old heads. I'm like, bruh, how you gonna say that, man? I said when brother Jabbar brung his old earthen, his own old earthen, brung it into the nation, and you gonna say you're only young people. That bugged me out when people say that, because I'm like, yo, how you gonna uphold that when the father himself wasn't even young when he came in the nation? He was a grown man. This guy like 30, 31, 32 years old when he came in the nation. Like, you know what I'm saying? So how you gonna uphold that, say you can only teach youth? Like, you know, just because that was the father's strategy and that was his approach, You know what I mean? Don't mean
I don't.
We all heard the
Yeah,
prescription. We all heard the prescription. What did
what's that?
Morpheus say? He said we usually do not wake up a person after they've reached a certain age because they sometimes find it too hard to let go.
I'm finna
I
watch
was
that again
that,
tonight. You
that,
said that was part one or part two?
part one.
Which
That was part one. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna watch that again tonight, man.
yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's true, but yeah, I think the brothers misunderstood what I was saying.
I'm like,
oh,
Again,
yo, the
hey,
father, a
again,
grown ass man, coming.
hey, we could teach anybody who's willing to learn or willing to listen. I'm sure when
Mhm.
Brother Jabbar, when he brought it to a
No,
full earth,
that
or
ain't true neither though. Sometimes you just drop seeds and then need time to grow. It ain't just. I mean, the point is well taken. What Seven Truth just said from the movie, that is true, but the opposite is also true. You know what I mean? Whenever it germinate in your mind, it germinate. Like you have in the nation. See, you in the nation, you see people come in older. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like hey, you know, it ain't just his mother. Like I know I came in later. You know what I mean? A
I
lot
think
of
we just
people.
had somebody in the nation. We just had somebody like 90 some years old just join.
You
yeah,
see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
guys? You
I mean,
see him, and
again,
even at Savior's Day, you see him in the graduating class. It be seniors.
Yeah.
Seniors be in the graduating class, guys.
Yeah,
So
my mom was in the graduating class. My mom graduated last year for Savior Day.
you see what I'm saying,
Yeah,
guys?
she on the video when they showing all
praise be to
M.G.C. and
Allah.
all that for us. She on the video.
yes,
And
sir,
she
yes,
not
sir.
the only
Yeah,
one.
Praise be to Allah.
yeah, but I think yeah that's what I was saying actually. Like we teach anybody, old, young, whoever. But I think the point that you missed was when I said I don't waste time. That's the point that I think you missed what I said.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
that's you know, you
it's an
right,
older
you
brother.
right.
It's an
Just
older
plant that
brother
seed
running
and
from.
keep it pushing.
Say it
You
again.
right. I said you right.
My
You just plant that seed and keep it pushing. It ain't like you got to drill. But I
That,
don't drill nobody though.
that's
I
what
don't
I was
drill young
saying.
people neither if they don't want to hear
Right,
it.
hey, but look, but
right,
look,
right.
but look, but with
Let me say
me,
it again. Let me get it
hey, day son.
I'll misperceived. Again, we could teach anybody. I got it's an older dude across the street from me. He's like 67 years old. And one day he was saying some stuff about, yeah, Lord Jesus, man. And I was like, yeah, and I said a few things and about Jesus and he's like, oh,
Man,
I never looked at it like that,
that
and
old
Mhm.
man was bombing
he's
you,
the
man.
old school, huh?
Next time we see Fahiym, we gonna have some hard bottom church shoes on and junk, man. On his way
Yeah,
Hey,
hey,
but
I ain't
get what
wasting my
though?
time with these old niggas, man. I'm not doing it. That's not
Hey,
me.
get what though? Look,
Y'all do that. I'll leave that to
with
y'all.
hey God,
I'm
with
not
me
doing
and
it.
anybody can get the business with me. Cause look, my little nephew, he graduated this year.
Yeah,
Praise be to
Yeah,
Allah.
yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, I mean,
Well,
it's
I
it,
will say
it, it,
this.
hold on one second, God. Let me just get this off. Let me just land this plane. But
Okay.
the point that we got to remember is that with the youth, that's who we really, really like. Even like I could go to a youth that's like a teenager or in his early 20s, and I may drop some jewels on, and he's rejecting. He's rejecting hard body. Oh, I ain't listening to that Roger Mom. Oh man, I ain't listening to that. Oh, that Farrakhan stuff. I ain't listening. But I'll keep going back to him again and again and again, several times before I finally say, F it, forget him. You know what I'm saying? But with
Mhm.
the older heads is what I'm saying is that we don't waste time on that which is lost. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
give them the knowledge. I'm not trying to say, oh, the old person is trying to ask me a question. I'm like, nigga, get out of here, you old ass. Oh, nigga, get out of here. No,
They
sir.
push him
No,
down.
that's not the message. Right. That's not the message, God. No, I teach
Yeah.
whoever. It's like that saying, whenever a student is ready, a teacher will appear. So yeah, there's older people that come to me, like I mentioned earlier when we got on the build. My baby mom's, she from Jersey. Her mom's was like, oh yeah, Minister Farrakhan was on TV. She was like, yeah, I like that man. And I'm like, Mom, you used to, you know what I'm saying? But now
Yeah,
she's asking questions and she's,
yeah.
so I'm receptive. I'm not gonna, disregard her. So I think
Hmm.
that's the point that we missing. We teach everybody, God, but we don't waste time with these old niggas. We don't do that, God.
Yeah,
Hey, they
but
reject me once or
the
twice.
same
I'm done.
the
I'm not
same
talking to you
process
no more.
apply though. They you know what I mean. Sometimes they need the seed watered and germ. We gotta have patience too. Like I'm
Hey,
saying,
hey,
not
you have
if
patience
they
with them. I'm
reject
not
you,
having no patience with them old niggas. I'm
this
not
man
doing
right
that,
here.
God.
You know what I'm
I don't have
saying?
no patience with the old ass, God. That's not that ain't me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the young, vibrant minds, that's it. Once they start rejecting and these 50, 60, 70-year-old dudes, I'm just like, hey, yeah, you don't got to disrespect nobody. You don't got to curse them out, but I'm just not going to waste my time. See ya. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like my mom's was different from Brother Jabbar. My mother wasn't trying to hear none of that old Muslim Islamic stuff.
Yeah, it's
And she'll
hard.
tell you quick. She'll be like, oh, you don't like Jesus. You done turned your back on Jesus. And I'm like, Ma, where did you get that from? Forget it. I'm not gonna sit there and try to rationalize with her and go back and
Mhm.
forth with her.
I think that's how I got my mom. I started teaching her from the Bible.
Yeah,
Mm.
But she ain't want to hear nothing about no Holy Quran.
how your mom's is what, 60s, 70s?
Yeah, she finna be 70.
But okay, so see, your mom is still kind of young. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If
she's
my
still
mother was
young.
alive today, she'd be about Minister Farrakhan's age. Because my mother
Ooh,
was born in 1933.
I
Like,
don't even think my grandma was that old.
wait, no, I'm sorry. 33. Yeah, Minister was born 1933, right? Minister
Yeah, he
Farrakhan?
born
Yeah.
33.
Yeah.
Ooh.
1933.
Your old Earth was
Yeah.
born in 1933.
19. Yeah, my parents was older when they had me. I got siblings that's like my oldest sister, my mother's first child, was like 22 when I was born. I got a
Yeah.
picture of her holding me up. She got a big afro with the leather thing. They were in the 70s platform shoes, and I'm in her. She holding me, and I got my pacifier. You know what I'm saying?
Baby guy. He a baby guy. He's a baby guy,
Hey,
yo.
hey, hey! But even with her, me and my older sister, oh my God, going back and forth. Well, we used to go, but we don't do that no more. But we
Mhm.
used to go at it, God. Oh my
Mhm.
God, man. But yeah, man, that's the whole thing, man. Yeah, the thing is, don't waste time with the whole. We teach everybody, God. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, except a
Now,
white man. I'm not teaching a white man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, God, that's it. You know.
Mhm.
Well, man, let me get ready to dip, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna try to see if we can get some of them to jump on next time, man. Some of the NGE, and they can come and maybe answer some of these questions because I still want
Yeah,
to
cause
know
I,
how.
I I got some for him too, God.
Yeah, I still want to know how's he the successor. I don't think they fully explain that. So
That's
inshallah,
why
just make it
that's why
clear for them.
I pretty much saved my wisdom for this bill because I like the stuff that was already laid out. There ain't nothing but a little appetizer. That's all.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a
yeah.
little
That's it.
appetizer.
Yeah. You know.
Because you already know the God goes so hard. You already know when he put that black on. You see, he got a little FOI. When he put the black on, boy, you already know what time.
Yeah,
Crescent moon.
both of y'all's ready to go in. Seven Truth, you was ready to go in.
Yeah, he's 7 True speaking from the baby plane.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That used to be
Yeah,
my that used to be one of my messages when I used to post on Facebook going around the country.
for real.
Baby planing.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
yeah. But yeah, guys, inshallah, we gonna get up later, man. Let me get ready to make a move. It's already
Okay.
after 11 too. Wow.
All right,
Jay,
guys.
elect
I'm gonna get me some
Jay,
greens, man, and I guess we'll hop
Jay,
back on by the time
Jay,
Far get try to kick
electronica.
in the morning. We can hop back
Jay,
on, but we know you'll just be getting back in.
Jay,
Yeah,
Hey,
put your telescope
electronica.
put your telescope in the trunk, God. Put the telescope in the truck.
Hey, I was gonna say Southern Truth real quick. Hey, I was gonna say
Jay,
Southern Truth real quick.
Electronica.
Hey, you want to do a review on that? Whenever
We
you get a
could.
chance,
We
yeah,
can.
on the J
Yes,
Electronica.
sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
I want
dope.
to put it
That'd
on
be dope.
the Conscious MC channel. I want to put it on there. You know what I'm saying? Some joints where we start talking about music, building on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to
that'd
put
be
it on
dope.
there. So yeah, we could do a review of that whenever you get a chance. Let me know.
But you gotta listen to it first.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it now, tonight. I'm about to go listen to it now.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be so lit.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all might hear
Man,
from Jaheim about 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, we need to get on right now. We need to get
Hey,
on right
tell the
now.
truth. That man
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
text,
asleep. Don't listen to the. Don't listen to
hey,
the.
hey, I'm gonna text you right after I check it out too.
Hey, look, I'm starting to think, bro, Fahiym, it Master Farad because I never seen him sleep.
Bruh. He be texting me like 4 in the morning. He don't know I'll be up. But in my mind, I'll be like, man, what's this man doing up? Like,
Yeah, I
yo,
like the
I
messenger.
just don't be responding to. He send me the video of junk. Like, I'll be up, I'll be wide awake and junk, man. I'm like, this man.
Just like the messenger. You wanted to catch Master Fard sleeping, he couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, y'all call me on a video and think like 4:35 in the morning, and y'all see me looking right back at you. Like, like
Vampire
Master Fard
life.
behind me used to look at the messenger, looking right back through the peek hole at him, like, oh, you still up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, God, inshallah, we gonna get up next time, man. Let me get ready so I can run, man. Good building with y'all brothers, man, all the time.
Okay,
All
Yes,
let's
right,
go.
sir.
guys.
Peace, God. Salam
Yes,
alaikum.
sir. Yes, sir.
Peace, great
Peace.
guys.
Alaikum
Greeting
salam.
brothers as I came and the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, black
Walaikum
God.
salam, sir.
Wow.
Peace.